Well, YouTube, good afternoon. I'm just down the street from where I made the video of the former Taco Bell. This is the old Good Sam Hospital, which closed about 2 weeks ago. And this has been one of the biggest stories in the Dayton area all year long. I've covered it in a couple videos, not nearly as extensive as I should have though. But yeah, I mean, this has been a huge source of controversy. There's a federal lawsuit going on to try and stop Premier Network from demolishing the building. I do not think that is going to be successful, by the way. Apparently there's a few workers or contractors still in this building yet because they're using the parking garage. Now, given the size of this hospital, they said reports are that there was anywhere from 40 to 60% of the beds were not being occupied at any one given time, which is the major reason why they had decided to close it, because it just was not being used the way it needed to or should have been. You know, in the black community here, which is here in Northwest Dayton, they're pretty upset about this closing, which I understand because it's a major loss for their community. They lost Air Arena, which is only a few miles away from here, just a year or two ago. About 2 years ago. Then the old Salem Mall. Those were like the three pillars of Northwest Dayton and Trotwood area. Good Sam, Hair Arena, the old Salem Mall. All three are gone now. My prediction, more than likely for this, is going to be that probably, I mean, to me, Premier Networks are not going to be stopped from demolishing this building. They could claim, well, it's private property and vice versa, or whatever that they can claim, and probably the demolition is probably going to be going forward sometime in the upcoming year. But wow. There is a couple people here. I don't know if they're security or what's going on here, but I don't think, I mean, for anybody that's a lawyer that's watching this video that has any experience with federal lawsuits that would try and stop a hospital from demolishing their property because it would be a disservice or not being able to serve a community, I'd like to hear your comments. But if I had to venture to say, they will probably start demolishing this, I'm going to say by no later than October. And given the size of this, they may have a controlled implosion, because it would take a lot of work to use excavators. I mean, they could do it, but they may just use a controlled implosion to actually just do this now. And that's what I would not be surprised if they choose to do. And it's really sad and unfortunate to lose a hospital in an area, but I mean, but what can you really do when it's not being used, you know, properly? I just don't know what else they can really do to this place. So yeah, it's I just don't know what it's and also, you've seen by my video by the Taco Bell that was closed, the economic impact that that's going to have on nearby businesses, especially restaurants, because how are they going to be able to survive here and be able to keep their business open when you take away a large portion of their customers like this? And yeah, and you know, Premier closed this much faster than what they said they would. Originally, they said the end of the year. Then it kept getting moved up. Then it was July 23rd or 22nd or whatever it was. Says it will close at July 23rd, which it did. But they said they had cleared out all the beds by, I believe, July 20th. All the patient services were already out of the hospital. There's been a group of reverends, part of a coalition. One of them, who I know, you know, Rodney Carter, he's been very vocal. He's leading the coalition, speaking out against the closure of Good Sam Hospital because they feel like it's going to affect the minority and black community. And, you know, one of Premier's excuses they used, they closed and say, listen, that Miami Valley is only 5 miles away. People are still going to be able to get services here a short distance away. You know, I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts on that, you know. I mean, no business can afford to operate at a 40 to 60% capacity. That's just not feasibly possible. I mean, so I understand both sides of the argument. But I'm going to wrap it up on this one from the old Good Sam Hospital.